Evening. Just getting started. Welcome to Big Beefin'. Got me, Shane Rollins, and here John Pimentel, JP and then maybe Daniel and Aaron will join in later. I don't think Aaron will join in. I think he's at work right now.
Come on, brighten this up again. There we go. There we
I
go.
used to have on these I would put a intro video on them, John, and that's how I would introduce everybody. It was at the beginning of that intro. I took clips of everybody saying who they were.
We were all eating the burgers and everything.
Yeah. But I took that down because I didn't do that for the last one because it's I was using a different computer. And that's part of the reason why we had audio problems because Daniel's got like a really good mic, like for online play and shit. And I was using my phone because this fucking computer, I couldn't get it to load. And anyways, that's why. So when Daniel was doing stuff on his line, you heard all of his audio. You couldn't hear what the fuck I was saying because his mic was so good. It was picking everything up. The iPhone mics on these apps, for whatever reason, I don't know why, they don't work. It doesn't do very good on Anchor or Podbean or any of them. Skype, it just doesn't work that good.
Can you see me?
Yeah, bro, I see you.
Can't see you. I see your Batman on your horse.
Hold on. Technical difficulties.
Right now, Daniel's shaking his head like, God dang it! Why can I not see Shane? And well, I guess it doesn't matter. You don't have to see me. I just see myself. You caught me like we were just watching Buzz Lightyear, and the phone went off, and I was like, oh shit! Like it is 9 o'clock already. So
yeah, we were gonna watch it today too, but we didn't get around to it. Watch it on your account.
I'm going. That's what it's there for. So man, Shane, we just found out. Remember I told you how my TV we had that like minor power surge in my house, and that my TV went out.
Yeah.
And my wife said, "Well, I called them. They said the guys were gonna call me, whatever." So we waited like 3 days, and my wife just told me today, "Oh, they did call 2 days ago." Like, how do you know? They left me a voicemail. Do you not check your voicemails, honey? Like, well, when they called, you just called, so I thought you left me a voicemail. So you didn't check the voicemail? No, because I thought it was from you. So you just don't randomly. So you just leave. That's what I get saying. People who leave icons on their phones, like that bugs the shit out of me. I can't see a voicemail icon or a message icon on my phone. I have to see what it is. So I guess for some people, they don't care about an icon. Like, oh, I know what that is. Fuck it. It don't matter. So yeah, literally they called 2 days ago to come fix our TV. But now we got to wait another 48 hours probably. Just set up it again.
So when they called, what were they? They're just saying we're on our way. We just want to make sure somebody's there.
No. Luckily, they were just calling to make an appointment. So.
Oh damn.
So I'm like, okay, honey. Well, let's stay on top of that. Like, yeah, like. Let's just check all the voicemails, like.
So what are they thinking that they're going to fix on the TV? If it had a power surge, do they think they're going to be able to fix it instead of just replacing it? That's
the whole thing. Like, I bought got the stupid warranty. I bought the stupid $50 power surge protector that's supposed to prevent this crap, and the TV still goes out. So, which is crazy because my son's TV in his room. A Roku TV, where it is, doesn't go out, but yet the more high dollar Philips one goes out. So you go do that math.
Got a couple of high dollar TVs in here. No service plan, no warranty, no surge protector.
So you just hope nothing happens. Huh?
When I worked at Best Buy, they taught us about the scam of the warranty. They said that that's pure revenue for us. It doesn't cost us anything. And we'll make the contract so complicated where most of the times we'll get out of it anyway. So we won't have to do anything.
No. Not us, Shane. No, we harangued them until somebody said, okay, we'll send someone out. Okay, so no, we made our work, I guess,
And then I guess my next question would be is how many TV repairmen are there? Like where do you find those guys? Like where do they come from?
Apparently there's a spot in Duncanville that they I guess they called them to go to people's houses and fix their TVs, I guess. What's wrong with the TV? I don't know. I don't like. I honestly say I do not know. Maybe it's something in the power cord or the TV. I don't know. I just know the TV's not getting no power to it. So I did everything they did on the phone. They said, okay, plug it into another outlet. Okay, take the batteries out of the remote and hold down the power button for 15 seconds. Okay. Okay. Go behind the TV and hold that power button for 15 seconds. Okay. Plug it into a surge protector. Plug it into a different outlet. Okay. Still nothing. Still talking to you. So
must have blown that power box out in the back of the TV. That must have been what happened.
So there goes this someone else. So I said, what's the process? What's the process? Guys gonna come out. If you can't fix it, we'll have a box shipped to your house. You put TV in the box, we'll send it out, and we'll send back another TV for you.
Yeah, they when you first told that story, you were talking about it, all I could picture was Carl from Sling Blade when he's working on that lawnmower and he says, it ain't got no gas in it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, because that's what it felt like. I did that. Did that. I don't get that part was take the batteries out of the remote, point at the TV, and push down the power button 15 seconds. Like, okay, must be an internal battery in there or something. I don't know. I don't know. But that's what he told me what to do. So,
man, there's been a couple times where we've had a TV or something go out, and I don't, like I said, never got those fucking warranties. And I'm brave enough to where I'll open those bitches up and see what the fuck's going on with them. And the new ones are kind of hard because those LEDs are little lights that come in strips that go all across the damn TV. And if one row of those lights comes out, that's when you start having problems. But the TV I had before we had LEDs, it was a DLP, a digital light projector.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened is the bulb would periodically go out. And there was like a button, there's like a little switch on there. And I guess it had broken at some point or got moved around. Somehow the damn thing wasn't no good. So I looked up online on a workaround, and the guy said, no, just cut a piece of fucking duct tape over it, and it'll keep that bitch on. It'll never shut off. But the guy who did the video, like, he had a fucking mask over his head. It was like a fucking knit mask, and he had like a voice modulator. So he was like, you take the piece of tape and you put it over the button, and it won't play. And so, like, Sarah was like, what the fuck are you listening to? It's like, that sounds like a fucking ransom video. And I was like, no, he's just explaining how to fix this TV. And she was like fucking incredulous. She was like, there's no way that shit's going to work. Like, this sounds like he's trying to blow you up. And I'll be damned, it fucking worked. Like, I took the TV apart, I got in there, put that tape on there, it worked. It worked for about 4 years. We gave it to Ruth. That was Ruth's TV for a long time. So.
I thought the guy was like messing with you because I remember there was a guy, Dale told me this guy years ago who put a YouTube video out. And it was all bullshit. The guy in the video said, hey, you wanna take all the colors out of your figures without ruining the figure? Mix these chemicals together. Now, if you had any common sense, you wouldn't mix these chemicals together, bleach and other bullshit, and dip your action figure in. People pulling them out, they're like all melting and they're falling apart. Yeah, so like, well, that guy just fucked y'all over and just made it the shortest figure for no fucking reason. So.
Yeah, I bought the Wraith King from Lord of the Rings from a toy show.
Uh-huh.
It fucking, when I got it out of the bag, like it was just tobacco smoke. Like it smelled like cigarette smoke bad, like just stale cigarette smoke. So I was like, well, fuck, what am I going to do with this? So I read online, like somebody said, throw it in some laundry detergent and let it sit in there for a couple of days. And when you get out, it'll be fine. So I did it. And I even put it in a big tub of laundry detergent. I set that bitch out in the garage. 3 days go by, I go in there, smells like, God damn it, still smells like smoke. So it's like, you know what? So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna leave it in there longer. So I put it back in the garage. I fucking forgot about it. I forgot about it until we were getting ready to move from the house.
Oh, shit.
So it'd been in there for years. It was just sitting there in the garage, buried in that fucking soap. And so I pulled it out. Sure enough, smell was gone. So when people ask, like, how do you get rid of the tobacco smell? I'm like, well, I know one way that'll work, but you need a few years on your hands.
That's crazy. You forgot a figure that you're excited about it.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I mean, Lord of the Rings action figures. I mean, they were cool, but the problem is the companies that do them now. So Toy Biz did it the best. They made every character you could. But the newer companies that are doing, they might do the big three, or the big four. Legolas, Aragorn, Gandalf, and Gimli. But you don't see a lot of the other. They're not making the orcs anymore, and if they do, they're always the little guys. So Lord of the Rings, it's a tough line to make figures because kids don't want to buy Lord of the Rings. So if you're making them, you're making it for adults.
Well, the figure might go up with his new Lord of the Rings TV series coming out. It might go up a little bit. Just depends.
Oh yeah, I got a Saruman. God damn it, what's the main guy's name? Sauron. I've got a Sauron figure, and that's the show's supposed to be about him. So.
Well, like you never know what information you get off the internet is going to be good or not. Like things that like I fix up my car. Like someone says, oh, it's going to cost like $1,200. I look online like that's a $20 job. Like fucking do it myself. There, done. Like. You find what you want to fix sometime on the internet, luckily the TV thing too, but whatever.
Yeah, somebody was telling me, I don't know if you saw this, but there was like a Millennial challenge where it was like they give millennials a task of things to do, but they can't fucking look at their phone, they can't look at YouTube. But it's like basic chores, like basic things to fix. But like can't use YouTube. Like try to fix this, but don't use YouTube.
I love watching the kids. You give them the stuff that we had, and they don't know what the fuck it is, like a rotary phone. They're like, how do you text message? I'm like, I feel so bad. Like you're trying to fucking text with a rotary phone. Like what's wrong with you? They're like, oh wait, they don't know what a fucking rotary phone is or how do you, it's not moving. And they're like, oh my god.
Yeah, God, what was it? Our kids react. Like kids react to Nintendo. Kids react to Metallica. Kids react to Eminem.
Where do you go? Like. Where's the arrow? We didn't have no arrows, kids.
Oh,
you figure that shit out. No arrows.
Kids react to Windows 95 where they had to like get on a computer, wait for it to load up, wait for the modem to start, go to a web page.
I mean,
it's like, it's taking forever.
Yeah, Walkman. Like I like watching YouTube because you find anything on there almost, but like kids trying to play with the Walkman, so like, how do you get it in there? Like it's like them trying to load, like watching a toddler trying to load a gun. How do you get the bullet in there?
Oh, that reminds me, I got to put my fucking my gun box up. Roger was asking me what the box was earlier. I need to put that thing a little bit out of reach.
Is it in reach of him?
No, he could climb. It's on a shelf. He could just climb up the shelf if he really wanted.
It's fingerprint encoded lock, right?
It's got a combination lock on it, but I mean,
it's always set, right?
But yeah, but where there's a will, there's a way, man. If kids want to get into that fucking box, they're getting in there.
I can't see your son with like a butter knife. Or it'd be funny to see your son on YouTube. What are you looking over there? How to open this box up?
Yeah,
like we have a butter knife and trying to open it.
And they like to explore. They don't, so I have to put it somewhere that's not fun, somewhere they don't like to go to, because any place that's like the bathroom or the closet, they love fucking going in there because that's off limits.
If my kids, their bed, they don't want to ever go to bed. Put it in their bed. won't go to bed.
Yeah. And at some point, I got to question the wisdom of having the fucking thing, like, because Sarah's not using it anymore. Now all it is just a liability, The
minute you give away, Shane, that's when trouble happens. I've seen plenty of, mock scenarios, that happen. Apparently you haven't watched a lot of NRA videos like I have, Shane. Hey, James, anywhere, Shane.
Like that,
Milkman, your neighbors, that cat, that dog. It's dangerous everywhere, Shane. You never know.
That Death Wish video that y'all shared the other day where Charles Bronson fucking.
Which one was that? Which Death Wish is that? Which one is that?
Death Wish 4. I think it was Death Wish 4.
The fact that he just whatever that gun. What kind of gun was that?
It's a fucking. It looked like it was a 357, but with like a fucking extended ass barrel, like a really long fucking barrel.
Fake, like he just pulled a box out. And yeah, I'm sure it's so good that I've never seen before. But he just, he bathed the guy, and he let him take it. Well, you just stole from me. That's all the proof I need. Or that's all I need to defend myself.
Do you remember how Death Wish started?
No.
The first movie, his daughter, he's a doctor, and he's like a doctor in New York.
Oh, the Willis one?
That was a remake. So that was a remake of it. But yeah, it's basically the same thing. He's the daughter, and his daughter gets like sexually assaulted or whatever, and nobody will do anything about it. Nobody cares. So he fucking takes matters into his own hands and becomes a vigilante. And so he just starts fucking wasting people. And the police are like, he's killing scumbags, but he's a vigilante. So he's popular with the people, but he's also breaking the law. And but he's kind of doing us a favor. He's kind of making our job easier because these guys are just going away. And then the second movie, shit, I think somebody finds out where his daughter is and fucking goes back and assaults her again. I can't remember what happened. But then in the fourth and fifth movies, one of them, he fucking just makes the city into like a militia. Like everybody gets a goddamn gun and they all start wasting people on their own. Like he's inspired them all. Like how that one clip you said everybody was cheering. Like I shit you not, this fucking woman pulls a gun out of her fucking purse and like this old woman and just starts fucking wasting somebody.
Okay. I gotta watch all the Death Wish movies now. I gotta watch them now.
No, they're for comedic value, they're great. But like if you're trying to watch a serious movie, the first one is pretty serious. Second one's kind of interesting because the cop that was chasing him in the first one is now like behind the scenes trying to clean up for him because he recognizes the value of what he's doing. 3 and 4 though, it just fucking goes off the rails. It just goes off the rails. And the Bruce Willis one was it's an okay remake. I mean, it didn't need to happen, but it was okay.
I understand they try to do like a just update version of it, but the point, like the fact that he's just like, oh, okay,
yeah,
they were just cheering like.
Well, that was the controversy because he wasn't, he's a doctor. He's not a real good he's not into criminal justice, so he baits them into committing crimes. Like he sets himself up as bait. And then
entrapment, you can't do that. You can't.
No, you can't. No, I mean, well, he shot that one guy in the back. So, in Texas, you do have a stand your ground law, but I mean, that's if they're in the commission of like committing a felony. Like if that guy so in that clip, what we're talking about, you see Charles Bronson, he's walking at night. He takes his brand new fucking camera, straps it over his back, showing it off to everybody, and then he just starts walking in front of these gangbangers. And sure enough, one of them laughs, this old fucking dude runs over there, snatches it from him, and starts hauling ass. And Charles Bronson pulls out this massive fucking hand cannon and just wastes the guy, just blam. But the guy didn't have a gun. He wasn't shooting back. He wasn't shooting anybody else.
He was going away. The threat was away from you.
Yeah, you would have lost your camera, but is your camera worth that guy's life? That's where the law's like, no, not really. But some people fucking think that you steal my shit, you're fucking dying. Like there's people that think that way.
Well, I would hate to think, Shane. I looked at the news. During a robbery, Shane Rollins shoots robbers because truck full of his action figures was driving away, and Shane fired 6 shots into the windows, killing 2.
Right. Yeah, well, I'd get a shit ton of money from my legal defense fund, so I would,
Would you do that, Shane? Like you just got home, you go upstairs, my action figures are gone. You hear a car starting up. You run downstairs. Damn, my stuff's in that van. Are you going to immediately pull your gun out and start laying out, Shane? Or are you like, well, the family's okay, so I guess it's all right. Or are you going to go, well,
It would have to, for that scenario to play out, they'd have to be like taking the shit, loading it into the car, and then like for some reason they're going through the garage or the front door and I don't see them.
Well, I think you have to see them in the act of stealing your stuff, right?
Well, my thing is that the time it's going to take me to go back and get that gun, they're going to be gone. So if the scenario played out to where I had the gun and they're taking the stuff and they're going, I would try not to shoot them, but the rounds are going off. Lead's going in the air.
That's also you're gonna.
No, I mean it's gonna be pointed in their general direction. I'm gonna be like shooting for a tire or an engine or something, and then
Say go after them. Like, let you say sees them turn the corner. Are you jumping in the trunk and trying to chase them down, Shane?
Yeah, I might do that too. Cause fuck them. Like at least get their license plate and call the cops and say, hey, they broke into my house. Here they are. I'm following them on this street right now.
So here you are right now. Like, people are wondering, like, man, are your action figures worth chasing someone down, to commit murder? Well, which that's broad right there. Like, You're not chasing them down just so you can commit murder. You're chasing them down because they have your property that you've been collecting well over, what, say 20 years, you know?
It's like that guy that was on some fucking story of some show, and it's a real story. His car got stolen, and the cops were just like, "Well, we don't know what to tell you, bro. I think it's in Miami or somewhere." And they're like, "Look, you're out of luck. We're not gonna find that car." And the guy was like, he was kind of familiar with the neighborhood, and he kind of like, I bet that whoever took it, they probably didn't go very far. So I'm just going to start staking out because I need this car. Like the car was all he had. And he's like, I've got to have this car. Like all of my money's into it. So he just kind of camped out in some bad areas. And sure enough, one day he saw the fucking car, and he starts to follow it. And he's on the phone with the cops for like hours trying to get somebody, please come come there. I'm here now. I see my car. Here is my car. I'm right behind it. Please come. And like I said, it's a busy city, and they're like, it's going to be a couple of hours before we can get anybody to you and all this. And he's like worried that they're going to fucking spot him at some point. And he's just like slowly behind them. He's in another car, obviously, but he's like slowly behind them, like watching what they're doing. And sure enough, finally the cops showed up and they caught him, and he got his car back. But his car, it was all fucked up. They destroyed everything inside, and but he was fucking nervous.
Well, that would be like, your shit getting stolen, it's gone, and you go to a convention like, wow, they just so happen to have. Look, could you spot your collection if someone did that? Like, could you? 100%. Like, but could you prove it? Like, hey, all that shit's mine. You got right there. Like, but could you physically prove? Like, okay, I can't prove these special edition animal figures are mine. I had that whole set. I had this whole set. Like, could you physically prove that shit was yours?
Yeah, because I've got photos of them.
Like, well, it's a picture of a toy. Like, it was a picture of a toy. You don't have a.
If we'd have proof, what I'd have to do is pull out my bank account statements of all the purchases. Like,
you don't have Andy written on all the bottom of your toys. Shane.
Well, I don't want to ruin them. I don't want to ruin the value. But I would know. I would know if my stuff showed up somewhere.
Would that be but you cease and desist? Like, could you call like security? Like, hey, they need to stop. There's all my stuff. I'm printing charges right now. Could you think you could do that?
I mean, you can make a big scene out of it. I don't know how it works when you
you're like, if you're at a con, you just find a police officer, turn this on mine, print charges right now, all of them. Like don't let them get away. Because I'm pretty sure they would try to run.
That
they
kind of stuff. I can't say that exact scenario has happened, but legal shit has happened at cons. There was one guy that made toys, and he got sued because his company, he was talking about the brand new line of action figures that's coming out. He's like, yeah, I got the rights to all these old school superheroes. And the problem was his company, he had done a lot of pre-orders, and he says that the company in China screwed him. They took his money and ran.
I remember you told me that.
Yeah, go ahead. Fans were like, we gave you thousands of dollars. You said you hit your goal. It's been years. Where's our stuff? And so he's in the con. He's like, here's the next stuff coming out. We got all this new thing. And then like somebody walks up and he says, hey, are you so-and-so? Because they were doing a Q&A, like a question and answer. So they hand him the mic and he's like, are you Mr. Beckett? And he's like, oh yeah, I'm here talking. And he's like, okay, you've been served. And handed him legal papers and then turned around and walked out right in front of the con, in front of everybody. Oh, shit. And the guy was just like, yeah, so I just got sued. All right, next question.
Fuck, man, like, you stole people's money. Who knows how many times that happens a day? People just steal people's money for whack ass shit,
There was a guy I had on probation once, and his crime was selling DVDs out of that fucking flea market y'all go to in Grand Prairie.
I
don't know I can't remember what it's called.
Fuck. I forget. But was it the guy who sold them out of the washing machine?
It was a big barrel. It was a big bucket, but so the company that runs Funimation, that runs the DVDs, they'll go to those cons and they saw a fucking barrel full of their unauthorized copies. So they called the feds. So a guy he wasn't dressed in like a federal uniform, it's just a guy dressed in a polo or whatever. He just walks in and says, hey, you got these movies? The guy's like, oh yeah, man, I got this and this and this. And he's like, okay, you got a license? He's like, no, man, it's just a shop. We just set up, just sell movies. He's like, okay, where'd you buy these at? He's like, oh no, the copies. I just copied them. He's like, oh, well, I'm a federal agent and that's a crime. So you're being charged with pirating. And the guy was just like, so he got put on probation, I think, for like 3 years or something. So, yeah, little felony on your record, no big deal.
I don't know, I know I would be pissed. I know I would be if I came home and all my action figures and collectibles and shit was gone. You know, I'll be pissed because, like I said, well over years of collecting and it's just fucking gone in one evening. You know, I'll be pissed too. It's hard, like I said, it's hard to know what your state of your mind would be, and when you actually see your shit, like that's my shit. What the fuck, and you know, like so.
Well, it's like that time when we were at that house off of by Cowboys over there in Arlington, and that guy stole my old bicycle, the old Schwinn, that green fucking ugly bike. And the cops took it into property because they have to, prove their case and all that shit. And Daniel said that cop was super excited when I said I was pressing charges. He was like fucking thrilled about it. I guess he'd been dealing with that guy for a while, and they just never could catch him, and the cop caught him stealing it. So anyways, to go get that property back, I waited till the last fucking possible minute. They're like, hey, you got to come within 90 days. So they fucking called me, and they're like, hey, it's been 90 days. You got to come get your bike. I was like, all right, I'll be down there. So I go down to Arlington PD, and I fucking walk in the door, and they're asking me a million fucking questions. I'm like, look, I got the paper. Can you just go get the bike? Like, can we just get the bike? And they're like, I'm surprised you came to get it. And I'm like, well, you called, and I've had it since I was a kid. So can you just go get the damn thing? So I had to ride with them back to the back of the fucking property area. It took forever. It took 2 hours just to get that fucking bike out of there.
2 hours?
And then in the shed they pulled it from, all there was like some Christmas decorations. Some fucking kid had stolen off the line. Like it took it 2 hours to get somebody to get off their ass, off their lunch break, go down to that damn shed and get that fucking bike out. I was like, man, it's fucking pain in the ass for this shit.
But to the fans who don't know, Shane, please just describe the state the bike was in at that time.
The same state it's in now. It's a piece of shit. Well, I take that back. At that time, it's a little bit worse now. So when I was in, I want to say 8th grade, 9th grade, I can't remember when. It was raining real bad, and I didn't like riding to school with mom and them. So sometimes I want to ride my bike, and it was fucking pouring. I mean, fucking drenched in rain. And I'm fucking riding that bike on the highway. And Xavier's mom, the kid with the walker, the disabled kid, his mom fucking hit me, and I fell into a ditch, and it bent the frame on that bike. And that was Teresa Crawford who fucking got me out of the fucking ditch. It's like, are you okay? They just hit you. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. And it's like, but they hit you. And I'm like, yeah, I guess they did. Like, what do you want me to do? I'm 12 years old. Do you want me to go fucking call the cops? Like, what do you want me to do? So we get to the school, and it stopped raining. Like as soon as we got there, the fucking rain stops, of course. And Mr. Conger comes out, and he's working on the bike, trying to get everything fixed because it's all fucked up. Because she goes in and she tells him, she's like, Shane Rollins is out there, and they hit him, and he fell in the ditch. And he's asking me, are you okay? You fell in the ditch? I was like, yeah, man, it's fine. No big deal. So I say all that to say the frame is fucking crap. The frame is jacked. And I know that because every time since then, whenever I would try to ride that bike, the wheel always rubs up against the fork. And I'd try to pry it. And the spokes were all crooked. The wheel would rub against, just couldn't get, the brakes would jam up. And I really tried to fix it, like for real tried to fix it when my car broke down, when I was living with you guys off of Belmead, and when Daniel let me borrow his car, I tried riding that thing to school one day at UTA at college, and it was all like the fucking no brakes. So I'm like having to put my foot down to stop. And I was like, this shit ain't gonna work. So I went to Walmart and bought a $40 bike. And I was riding that bike to school every day. But I had to take it apart because it's all fucked up. So now it's apart, sitting in my garage. At that time, when that thief stole it, it was a piece of shit, man. The frame was warped, the rims were off. Like he goes in there, gets an old frame from the 70s with the fucking those old generator spinning wheels for the light that makes it, vroom, vroom, makes the light show. And worthless piece of shit. But I've just had it since I was a kid. So now it's hanging up in my garage, and it's probably gonna be there until we move.
No intentions of fixing it or getting rid of it or nothing. Just that's mine. I'm gonna leave it right there.
I mean, the problem is I like the Schwinn that I have now, the new one that I got, so much better than that old one. I don't know if I'll go back to that old one.
Well, just put it on the curb. Just take it down, put it on the curb.
That's my bike. I've had that bike since I was a kid.
Jay, you just said it's a piece of shit. You're not gonna ride it no more. You're not. Let's be realistic. You're not gonna fix it up and give it to your kids. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna
fix it up. What if I decide to fix it up?
You're not gonna pay someone to fix this bike, so you're not gonna put money into it. Someone's gonna tell you, well, it's gonna cost you. We're gonna run you about 300. You're gonna say, fuck that. I can go to Walmart and buy 4 bikes for that price. So say, go ahead, take it down, put it by the curb. It'll be gone by the morning. So the metal guys always run around these towns. You know, they'll pick that bike, be gone, and you can move on with your life.
It's got those real narrow wheels. It's a really ugly green. They
just need to crush it to a cube for money. You know,
the chains are all rusted.
Just put it out there. Put it out there.
You know how the handlebars on those bikes, like you put your hands down and you lean into the bike. Yeah. My dad, it hurt my back when I was riding this. Kid's like, hey, I'm leaning over too much. Can we turn these handlebars upwards? So the handlebars on them always sat up. So it's like this weird fucking look whenever you're riding them.
So you're way up here?
Yep, way up there. Yep.
But that was you training to get a motorcycle, because you said you want a motorcycle with big old fucking handlebars like way up here.
Yeah, like those big bars, man. Yeah. I don't know how those guys riding those fucking bikes for 8 hours. Don't your arms get tired just hanging up in the air like that?
Well, I mean, they got I don't know how they do it. They make it tough so they can take their hands down, just drive straight. They just cross their hands, and then it goes, how Billy Badass. What the guy that buried Julie Roberts? What was his name?
Oh, fuck.
That bike guy.
Oh, no, he married Sandra Bullock, Jesse James. Or no, what was his name? Yeah, no, Jesse James, I think.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Sandra Bullock, yes. Dave was shaking his head right now going, God damn it, John can't remember one goddamn name for save his fucking life. He can't remember one goddamn name for anything. But I remember when he was going across country in his TV show, I remember he would be riding in there. He would just, next thing he'd just be like this, the bike just going straight, just literally just like this, just going straight,
Yep. Yeah. Those fucking bike shows were all over the place back then, man.
Oh man, if I want a motorcycle, Shane, the kids gotta be out of the house. Apparently, I can't have a motorcycle to save my life. Apparently, that's a deal breaker, Shane. Like, one of the deal breakers in this marriage is a motorcycle. So
how close were you to getting the motorcycle?
Nowhere close. It was just the ideas I would throw out to my wife. Like when a motorcycle guy would drive by the car, I'll put my hands up. She was up. Never mind. They were like, one day we got to a discussion about it. We got to a nice discussion about it, and she literally said, "Honey, I will leave you if you get a motorcycle." I was like,
"What? So what's her concerns about you having a motorcycle?"
When I asked her, they're not safe. You got a family. You got friends to worry about. Just everything. So,
yeah. It's obviously a thing of perception. She perceives it's not safe. If you get hit in a car, you'll probably be okay. You get hit in your fucking. That reminds me, my fucking truck's got an airbag recall. I need to take that bitch in. I've never really been interested in motorcycles. Some of them look cool. It's always about the look, but then functionality, it's like not real comfortable. Your back's not supported. It's fucking hot as fuck.
That's what I was telling her, like, honey, what can I have one for those nice, cool, late September, mid-October seasons where the weather, so you get outside, it's nice and cool, it's perfect. Those, a month right there from in September, mid-October, like that, the weather's just great. You want to roll down the windows, feel the cold air, like that. That kind of time, just feel it, but oh well. Like I said, I'm not gonna drive in fucking right now at 105, heat. Hell no, chat my ass. So,
do you really think if you showed up with one you just pulled up in the driveway and like it's all on there and the engine's roaring and everything?
Oh, No, I wouldn't be the loud muffler guy. I wouldn't want to do that. I don't want to be that guy. I don't. I'm not that. No.
Get off. You'll have a big keychain on your wallet, a big chain and everything. You throw your chain down on the table when you walk in. Fucking boots.
I guarantee, Shane, if you rolled up your house with that kind of bike, so it can be like, you're like, Shane, we got an email from the HOA.
Yeah. Well, I don't really have an interest in getting one of them anyways. It's never really been my thing. A lot of people in my family did when I was a kid. They were really into them, but not so many now. I've got an uncle and cousins. They're really into them. They go riding, but it's not for me.
I just want one for like that part of the season. Then someone said, why don't you just rent one for a week? Then just rent one. Like if that's your big thing, then from that little small span of time, just rent one for a week. Then just feel it. Like, there, get it out of your system. You rent one for a week during that nice cool period, as you would call it. Like, oh, I guess that makes sense, So
yeah, I don't even want to go through the hassle of getting a motorcycle driving license. Like I'm not even interested in that.
Oh yeah, the whole and that too, but I would have done it, just a rent one for a week just to do it. So, oh well.
Would you think your brothers would get one too? Y'all would be the brothers Pim riding out? You think
that'd be the cool scenario in my head is the whole four of us riding down the road with our war vests on, with like ridiculous shit on them, and man, that'll make no fucking sense. You'd be like the SP team, foundation team, like, that'd be cool. I can imagine like we all look cool riding motorcycles. They don't have that one cool round helmet with spike on it.
Yeah,
Michael just had the bandana on. He thinks it's too cool.
Yeah.
And Andrew probably be the guy with the ninja bike with all the leather, the gloves. A long jacket, so.
I figured he'd be the one to have like the Spartan, like mohawk thing that they put on the top of some of them now. Yeah, just that, it's always cool though when you see like two bikers pull up at an intersection. They both nod to each other, like, "Yeah, man, you're one of us, bro." I saw it one time, and it was some black bikers, and they pulled up to a white biker, and the black guys were like doing the nod, doing the fist thing, and the white guys, they didn't fucking look at them. They just drove off. Like, I was like, that's fucking rude. Like, at least said hi.
I'm pretty sure like regular cyclists do that to other cyclists. Hey, you ride a bike too? Yeah, like no, not cool, man. Get the road.
So I was telling people a while back, I was like, oh yeah, every now and then I ride my bicycle. And they're like, oh, you got the shorts and the helmet. I was like, no, I don't wear that shit. Like,
you're not. No. But that's funny too, because around that time is when I do see a bunch of the cyclists. I see the people do that, but during that cool time, like that is the only time I see them outside riding them.
Right.
So not all the fucking time, but yeah, they got the little bitty helmet on, the fucking spandex shirt, spandex pants, and the fancy little shoes that help them grip the pedals and shit like that.
Why on earth would you want to fucking lock your foot onto the damn pedal? I don't get that. Like when I was a kid, man, you always had to be able to jump off that fucking bike. Like why would they lock themselves in?
They can't stop saying, going up a hill, like.
Fuck, man.
You're not practicing for Tour de France. I'm sure you could do it. You set your dreams high, but one can dream, I guess, Shane. One can dream. Being called up to the big leagues, the Olympics calling you.
Oh man, they said the first 25 places in the Tour de France were all people using substances to get them going. They all had dirty shit in their urine. What do you think about that? What do you think about sports and drugs? Are you like, no, it needs to be pure, it needs to be human, or
that's what it was all about. They didn't have this, Shane, back during the good old Roman times. Like they didn't have those enhancement stuff. Now that we have them, like it's only cheating if you get caught, and that's why they fucking hell. You can win fucking NASCAR. They'll fucking pull your car. They'll fucking pull those 3 cars to the shop. Like, all right, you're the winner, but we gotta check your car. And that happened recently. A guy won a race, pull his car to a shop. Hey, disqualified. You winner. You know, just like that. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with his car, but yeah, just like that. You know, where they didn't make his car a little bit faster.
My thing is, like when it comes to like substances and drugs and like, oh, he's using steroids. I'm like, well, let him. Everybody use them. Like if you can beat him without steroids, that means you're a badass. If you can't, well, that means he's just better than you on steroids. Like I don't know what the deal is.
Well, let's take a scenario and let's break it down. Like strongman competitions. Is it okay to use steroids as the strongman?
They all use them. I don't think you can do that without using them. How do you become a strongman without using steroids? Like how is that humanly possible?
I would think that would be the worst scenario to use steroids because you're putting your body through so much strain at that level. I would think that would already be dangerous for you to attempt to do that.
That's why you see that one video, that guy that was lifting up all that fucking weight and he started having a nosebleed, you know, like it probably isn't very good for you to do all that.
Now let's transition to bodybuilders that do just physique tournaments. You know, I guess that would work. You're not lifting nothing. You're just
yeah, flexing and posing.
You know, but you use steroids, doesn't matter. You know, it helped me build the muscle I need to have a better physique, you know. So
yeah, I know a bodybuilder, and he was always saying, he's like, man, it's not like I'm doing cocaine. You know, it's not gonna make me angry, it's not gonna make me hurt somebody, I'm not gonna wreck my car, I'm not gonna kill somebody. He's like, all it's doing is it just lets me work out better.
Well, we all know the side effects of steroids. Road rage is you know,
roid rage, when they start getting all that aggression, all that testosterone built up.
Yeah, and yeah. Well, I always like the joke that they say I get a bodybuilder to attract women, but apparently I only attract more men. Because it's true. More want you. Hey, man, what are you taking? What are you using? You know, like, wow, I did this to attract women, but hey, you know, I guess this works too.
Yeah, I mean, when I would go places with that guy, I was doing it for work. But whenever I was around him, man, he would always have people always just randomly walk up to him to start talking to him, you know, just about him working out.
I do know that a couple of months now, like bodybuilders just been dropping dead from steroid use, you know. Yeah. So is it a pandemic? No, but it definitely should be frowned on because like, but let's say, Shane, let's take that you're not even in a fucking competition. I'm not no strongman competition. I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm not, you know, I don't perform for the masses. I'm just a guy who just wants to be fucking big for no fucking reason, taking steroids for no reason. That sounds useless, you know. I'm just a super buff prison guard.
Yeah,
that doesn't need half this muscle mass. You know,
I've seen a couple of those too. I don't know what that's all about, man. Some people just like it, man. Some people just want to walk around looking like looking like Arnold.
I get it, man. Like, I mean, man, you know.
Speaking of Arnold, did you watch the new Prey, the new Predator? Do you like it?
Oh yeah. And with that being said, I like that the Predator wasn't super jacked. Like Alien vs Predator, Requints, AVP, Requinsible, what the fuck it was.
Requiem.
The Predator. That Predators weren't good. Like they were overly, especially like AVP. They're like, what the fuck did y'all? Are they on steroids? Like they were overly buffed for like no fucking reason. This Predator, lean and mean. That's all it was. Lean and mean, Shane. So
yeah, he's still 8 foot tall though.
8 foot, and me and Dave were talking about this. Like, well, John, talking about this. Like, if this guy just punched a bear, broke his neck, then deadlift the bear over his head, why wasn't he just like ripping guys apart? You know, or like when he had that girl, like we took it back to where like, okay, so when you take that kind of concept, the Predator in the Arnold Schwarzenegger original could have literally just snapped his neck right there while he was holding him if they had that much strength.
Right.
He could have snapped his fucking neck and that could have been it, you know. So
yeah.
But
well, he did fuck up that one guy. Remember the guy with the glasses? He fucked. I can't remember how he killed him, but he fucked him up. Remember?
I just feel like he did the only way I think about it is Shane. He just did a wicked fucking clothesline on him.
Well, you make a good point. The fight. So I'd have to go back and I'd have to watch the fight between the bear and the predator in this one, and then the fight between Arnold and the predator in the last one. Because Arnold was like, I don't know, he had a log though. Wasn't he hitting him with the log? Wasn't he like jumping around him, hitting him with the log?
But that just shows you the power that they had. Like, granted, it made you got a bad log, but he's got a log that was already bad. But yeah, like Shane, he fucking punched a bear, broke. I don't know, man. He knocked it cold. I thought he broke the neck. I thought her neck break. But when he picked the bear, Shane, picks it up, like that's a fucking muscle mass right there with ease. Shane. Picked it up with ease.
So,
Hawk.
I mean,
Hawkley. No, fuck. No, I think it was Hawkins, but that's all I can imagine saying is because you said that's the one with the girl sitting there. He's saying please, and he's just gone.
Yeah. Yep.
That's all I can think about. Shane. He just did like a fucking wicked clothesline on his ass, like just caught him by the neck, just snapped his neck, and just drug him onto the wood. That's all I can imagine he did.
Right.
So,
yeah.
So.
I mean, I liked the movie. I thought it was good. I kind of wished I would have watched it at a theater versus at home.
Me too.
Just because it's a scenery movie. Like they're taking you. You're in.
Man, it's a gorgeous setup. The scenery was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking, like, oh man, they're gonna drag this out, but like no, they're giving you a view of what they were living in. Like, man, it's gorgeous scenery, man. It's nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's like. The Predator, the original Predator works so well because they're in the jungle. You really can't tell what's going on. There could be any jungle anywhere. I mean, it just so happens they actually did that stuff in South America, but you can't really tell. There's like a jungle anywhere. But this one, like you could tell, no, they're out in the woods, and it's really nice and pretty out there, and the scenery's all good. Everything's wide angle shots, and man, the only, and I know the age that we live in, and I know. The girls can do it too, but goddamn, man, come on, man. The prettiest squaw in the whole village just happens to be a hunter, and she just happens to have a trained dog out of everybody, and she knows how to use the bow the best. She's the best tracker. I mean,
that's a little bit over the top for you.
We know there are women warriors in the past. Like you got Joan of Arc. She was a badass woman warrior. The queen and you've had queens throughout history that have risen up that were warriors. So it's not a stretch to say that it doesn't happen. It's just, and the other thing was the boys, like all those natives that were fighting him, they were little guys. Like they were like kids.
I thought it was going to be like when they were fighting if you haven't watched it yet, please stop the show. If you haven't watched it yet, okay, spoilers ahead right now.
Yeah.
All right. But when he's fighting the freshman, Shane, boom, like he's just taking him down. Here comes the kids with the bows and everything. They're fucking lame. They're getting shots in.
Yeah.
They're getting shots in on him.
Yeah.
These guys with bows, arrows, axes, spears. The little bit of hot lead they have, not doing nothing.
Yeah.
Sharp sticks, whooping his ass.
Well, that one idiot fired the gun in his helmet, and the bullet ricocheted and killed him. Like, why would you shoot at the metal? Like, that's what I don't understand.
I don't think they knew that was. I thought it was bone. I thought it was bone.
Oh, maybe it was bone. Still, though, why would you shoot at it?
I was hoping that my mind in that moment, I thought the guy was gonna piss his pants, drop the gun, and lay down, and Predator was gonna walk over him. I thought that was gonna happen.
Nope, hurt him too bad, and now's a wrap, son. What did you think about the gun from Predator 2? Like that was the gun that they gave Danny Glover.
1817 really good, but yeah, but like, okay, it was that Frenchman who pretended to be dead.
Yep.
But if it sets up for another one, that'd be cool to see how the Predators come back and retrieve that gun. Like, does she die in the next one, or does she fuck over that chief by giving him that gun and they kill the chief?
Who knows? Like I said, I liked the movie overall, and I mean, when I saw that girl, I was like, man, she does not fit in with the rest of the tribe. Like, is she really a Comanche? No, she's Sioux, but they said that she auditioned in Comanche, so she knows the language. So apparently she's into it.
It was like one too many power slides for me. Because I knew when she did it first time, okay, cool. Second time, okay, cool. Third time, okay, this is gonna be in the final fight. I already knew in my mind, okay, this is gonna be in the final fight of the movie. Is she's gonna do like a fucking power slide? And sure enough, she does a power slide because the cat's off. So
well, what I predicted was the orange shit. Like, oh, it's because she said it cools the blood, and I was like,
got me. I did not notice that. That got me too. I didn't notice that. Yeah. That got me.
Like
I did not notice.
Said it twice. I was like, I told Sarah when she said it the second time, I was like, hey, did you catch that she said it cools the blood? And Sarah was like, yeah. And I was like, the predators see heat. And Sarah's like, oh.
Well, so. I mean, but that tricked me in the end, though. Like, yeah, they set up the whole quicksand mud scene, but I thought for real she was gonna fall in there, get out, and he was gonna walk by and not see her. That's
I actually like that, man. I hadn't seen quicksand since I was a kid. Like, you remember when we were kids? Like, everybody was getting trapped in quicksand.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
There was an episode of Batgirl where she got stuck in it. There was an episode of Gilligan's Island. Like, all the TV shows when I was a kid, somebody always getting tripped in quicksand. They're always like, oh, help. And I was like, oh, hey, it's a new movie with quicksand.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was funny that he just stands up. He just stands up.
Well, he's 8 feet tall, you know.
He's fucking
well, and Sarah was like, how's he going to get out of there? And I'm like, he just deadlifted a bear. He's going to just jump out. Like, you know.
I like that it's so the first, they say the first Predator that they didn't have the standard issue shoulder cannon. You know, shoulder cannon for all Predators it's like hunting. It's like taking your 12-gauge shotgun. You don't go for your 12-gauge shotgun, and that's what the shoulder cannon is to them. But it's cool that they went so far back that they had the laser technology, but it was a rail gun by what it looked like, right? A magnetic rail gun.
The homing darts.
Yeah.
I think, like you said, different predators are going to bring different weapons to the hunt. Like the one predator in the city, he had the disc and the spear, and then the predator that fought Arnold, he had the plasma caster. I think they just bring the weapons to the hunt, like however they're wanting to do. I don't know all the rituals. You've read the books though, right? It explains all of it in the books.
Yeah, and that the fact that he, like, when he went to activate his wrist mount, I went like, what the fuck is he blowing up? Like, they didn't do the.
Yeah. I was sitting thinking, I was like, are they really about to nuke all of the woods? Like, is that really about to happen? Like,
yeah, but then there's like those three little, what the fuck? Like, I guess drones, three little sharp. What was that movie saying? Phantasm, like the balls with the hook in them, with the knife.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. So, so he just threw, like, I was thinking, like, did he have to throw it down? Can he just not, like, just pop it open and they just fly out? But, like, whatever. So that's what it looks like to me.
I also kind of like that he was hunting other animals first. Like, he started with a snake, then he went to a wolf, then he did a bear. And now he's like, let me try these humans out. Let me see what they're up to,
I mean, I like the weapons and everything he used. And overall, I liked it. What did I like? The axe with the rope. I guess.
The girls' acting was good. The native boys, they kind of sucked. The Frenchmen, they were all fine. I mean, all they were was cannon fodder, anyways. So I was going to ask you this though, because you told me when you were a kid and you saw the original Predator and you saw Arnold in that helicopter leaning back smoking that big stogie. You're like, the first thing you did is you went outside and you put a stick in your mouth.
Yeah.
If you had watched this movie as a kid and you see that Frenchman smoking that big old stogie, would you run outside and put a stick in your mouth after watching it?
I don't know, because Arnold made it look cool. Like that made like that's cool, man. But just the way Arnold was sitting back, looking shit, that guy was just a big fat guy with a bunch of fur on him. He didn't look nearly as cool as Arnold, leaning back, just waiting for something to happen.
That's all I could think about. I was thinking about when he was smoking. Anytime he would show, I was like, all I could think about is John saying he had that stick in his mouth, running around playing, trying to be Arnold.
I wonder, say, we can go back and turn the translation on and see what the Frenchman was telling the girl before he died.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably, help me or something. I don't know.
I'm sure you're saying, like, I will kill you before I die. I'm sure you're saying something like that.
Something like that. I don't know. They made the Frenchmen assholes. You
You
know?
know what? Props to them though. They brought him down. Hey, respect. They got him down. They tricked him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they just didn't know when you pissed them off.
Right.
Then
Right.
he brought the heat.
Right. Right. Well, I mean, they were trappers, so they're used to hunting, and so they're hunters too. It's just they don't have the technology he does. That's the thing about the Predator. That's what would be interesting if you ever could even the score technology wise. Like if we had the same tech that they did, we're just as capable. Like they're physically they're better than us, but are we smarter than them? That's the question.
I always would find it like if you gave me the exact same weapons as a Predator, and I was a better physique, yes. So let's take who's the most fit person we ever knew, like Arnold, and he actually did have all them set skills, and we gave him the spear, the shoulder cannon, the disc, and we gave the same 3 items to a Predator. I still would think the outcome would be don't let that Predator put his hands on you.
Yeah. Right.
As weight and muscle wise, you're not gonna win. So you gotta beat them at a distance. So it was kind of weird, like seeing her like, you gonna jump on that thing? You're gonna get that fucking closer? Like that was like, no, because this thing could literally fucking break your neck if he gets his hands on you.
Well,
So
I think when her brother died, I guess she felt like she had nothing to lose, and she's just like, oh well.
I it kind of caught me in the field. I'm like, wait, oh, he's giving a speech. He knows it's it. He's giving her a speech. It was you. It was your idea. Like, oh, you're about to die, aren't you? Bam. Yeah, you did.
Yeah. There's no way he was going to make it, but and so now, like, who's going to leave who's doing the war party? Who's protecting the tribe now? There's a fucking shit ton of Frenchmen down there.
I bet you heard.
Maybe the Predators will be like, hey, we'll protect you guys. We got your back. I don't know.
I ain't gonna lie, Shane. At the end of the movie, when it finally that spear, boom, brought that sucker down, and she did the war cry. I ain't gonna lie, Shane. I was cheering too. Like, that's right, King. That's right, King. You did. It just came out of nowhere. I'm like, that's right, King. You did it. You did it.
I mean, I guess it's different for you because you've got a little girl, but I'm looking at that and I'm like, I just don't see how she. It's just so hard for me to buy it,
It was just so well. Like I feel like, man, they got so close to it. Like you just saw it dealing with the bear, but you still getting brave to get that fucking close, especially when she's jumping on it, using the fucking axe on it. Like
it's like
he could literally just grabbed her and like, pop, there, done, I win.
If they had found like a UFC chick, like some chick that had a flat nose and was kind of like big and burly, I might have bought it. But that's like the prettiest fucking Native American that's ever been on TV ever. And she's jumping on the fact of this 8-foot monster's back and hitting it with a hatchet. And I'm just supposed to be, yeah, man, this is exactly how it would play out. Like
how pissed do you think he was when he cut off his own fucking arm by accident?
Yeah, that was tight. I like that part. I was like, oh shit, I didn't even.
Like, yeah. You look at her, but you fucking cut off your own fucking arm. No.
Yeah. It was a good movie. I give it props. They did okay. It's nowhere. People are online saying it's the best reviewed Predator movie of all time. I'm like, okay, hold the fuck up. Wait a second. The Predator, when it came out, movies when they come out, sometimes they're not as, they just don't pop the way that they're supposed to.
Yeah.
But everybody that watches that fucking movie likes it. Like there's, I mean, it's a timeless movie. It's always it's kind of like what you said in your pocket. You were like, it works because you don't really see all the advanced technology. You're in a helicopter, they got a radio. That's it. There's no TVs. There's no cell phones.
That's it.
There's nothing that would clue you that this, we know it happened in the 80s, but that could have just as been in the 70s. It could have been the 90s. It could be now. So, it just, that saves it and makes it a more timeless movie.
Yeah, because like I said, we still have those guns. We still use those guns.
Yeah.
They still use radios. Like, I think they still use radios. Like,
yeah, no, they still do them. Yeah.
Yeah, so they use radios. And that's the most advanced thing that was out there was that fucking radio. And the helicopter, you can just say, oh, we'll hit you around on the old helicopter. Boom. The helicopter still look kind of like that. So,
The only, the one thing that, and I would say this movie had good special effects, but some of them weren't all that. Like there were some times where you'd see the Predator's face, It's a little too cartoony. Like because the old Predators, it was always a mask. It was always a suit.
Yeah.
It wasn't a computer generated. I mean, except for when he was cloaked.
Yeah.
But
The lion, you look CGI. The bear was CGI.
yeah,
Yeah. The rabbit, the snake.
yeah.
We're not gonna put animals in danger. For Peter's sake. We're not gonna do that.
That would be funny though if they were like having a wolf out there and like, all right, chase that rabbit.
I'm sure they found the discovery. I'm sure someone could have gone out there and like, what happened there? Like, okay, we'll release these 20 rabbits by these wolves to see who starts.
I think the reason why you don't see that more in movies because to match the films up, it would cost so much money to just sit there and wait for that fucking wolf to catch a rabbit. Like you're just like, well, we're gonna spend all these hours out here watching the show. We might as well just make a computer rabbit.
So before we get done, how do you feel that they canceled the look? Okay, did they? Let me see how you want to say. Batgirl movie canceled. Yeah. Was it out of spite? Out of the movie was just complete trash, or they just wanted to not give her no more screen time? They hate what's your solution? Why you think they just said fuck this movie? Is it really because her, or they really think no, this movie is garbage? We're not gonna put it out.
The first I heard about her being a diva was from you. Like I hadn't read that anywhere, so that was news to me. If that's the case, I don't think that alone would kill the movie because they're still putting the Flash out. And that dude has went way off the rails. Ezra Miller, like he's kidnapped people. He's fought people at parties. He's getting his goons to like bounce people and shit. And now he's saying that the FBI is following him. So like they're not going to cancel a $90 million movie just because somebody's being a fucking ass. Now, from what I understand, so for everybody's trying to figure out what the fuck are they talking about, that Warner Brothers was making a new DC superhero movie called Batgirl, and it's the Batman sidekick, Batgirl, Barbara Gordon. She was going to have her own movie, and it was going to come. So when COVID first started, HBO launched an app called HBO Max, and they said that all the Warner Brothers movies are going to be free. They're all going to show up on the app for free. We're going to do that indefinitely. We're never going to stop. And after the first year, they said, well, some of them will show up in the movie theaters too. And then, like in the last 6 months, they're like, some of these movies are just going to show up in theaters. We're not going to put them on the app until later, but they will eventually show up on the app.
Yeah.
Well, now what's happened is an executive who used to run Disney or worked with Disney, he now is in charge of the Discovery Network. The Discovery Network and HBO have merged. They've all merged to this massive corporation now. And he's come out and he said, well, I don't like the streaming platform. It doesn't make money. We're not doing that anymore. So we're cutting projects that were streaming only, that were movies, and Batgirl was one of them. So, but it's also come out that the movie wasn't very good. Like people are just saying it sucked. It looked like a TV movie. Well, of course it looked like a TV movie. It was meant to go straight to streaming, so nobody's really trying their best, like they're just, let's just get this out, put her in the suit, get Michael Keaton, bring Michael Keaton in here. She needs to fight Firefly. Brendan Fraser's already here because he works on Doom Patrol. Get Brendan Fraser over here, put him in the suit. I mean, it just, and I think part of me also is kind of jaded. I'm like, okay, they say they're canceling it, but I bet if things work out with these other movies, they might have like the director's cut, the special edition, the unreleased cut. It's not, it'll come out, in theaters only or some shit like that. I bet they'll.
I can see that, like, okay, we didn't release it, but.
Right. Yeah, here's the hidden version. Yeah, like that, they do. And that just to build up interest. Like, because you got fans that are going to say, hey, I wanted to see the Batgirl movie. Or you got fans of that actress. But then you got other people that want to go see the train wreck. They're going to say, okay, how bad will this has got to be bad. So let me go see how bad it is.
How bad this movie is. Well, I heard Blue Beetle was on the chopping block, but I saw the costume, like, this costume is straight out the comic. Well, yeah. And this kid is a pretty good actor. He's off the Karate Kid. Kai,
What that guy said he said that they want to take a step back. They're going to let Shazam, Flash, and Black Adam come out because they're full blown movies, and he's okay. He's watched those. He's fine with them. But he said that going forward, they want a 10-year plan like Marvel had with Infinity War, that he wants a 10-year plan for DC movies. I don't know where fucking Joker 2 fits into that with fucking Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn.
Whole other universe. Don't worry about it. He's never going to join this over here. I think that's what it is. You know,
So if they do that, then maybe, who knows, man? It's hard to say. It was easy with the Marvel movies, except for like, it's kind of funny. Somebody was talking about this. They were like, Sony, who has all the Spider-Man characters, they went ahead and put that Mobius movie out, and I didn't even go watch that movie because it looked bad. I was like, nothing about that movie looked good. And people are saying like maybe Warner Brothers did the right thing by not putting this out. If it was going to be as bad as Mobius, then maybe you did the right thing by not putting it out there.
Is that on HBO yet?
Mobius? I don't know where it's at. I don't know. They tried putting it back in theaters again. They're like, hey, COVID's kind of went down. Let's put it back in theaters, and nobody still watched it.
I saw it. I mean, like, I'm like, man, I wait for Redbox for that shit. I mean, when I saw the trailers look good. It must be the storyline just fucking killed it, I guess. I don't know.
So far, the best movie I've watched this year was Top Gun. That's the best one.
I did get a chance to go watch that. I think go get it. Was good, but that badass.
Fucking good. And I watched the night that I watched the original one first. And I was like, damn, they don't make movies like this no more. Like, this is just a fun little movie. It's just a goofy little, hey, proud to be American movie.
Yeah.
But the new Top Gun is like way more serious. He's a test pilot now, and he's flying this plane that takes him like 9 times the speed of sound. And he's like fucking shaking and shit. And like, he's going up into space, like trying to get it to, it's what's going to happen is there's a general, I think it's played by Ed Harris. And he's like the general from The Rock. You remember The Rock movie? The one where they're on the island? Yeah, it's that guy. And he's like, I'm shutting it down because drones are taking over. We don't need you pilots anymore. We're going to use drones. And he's like, the hell you are? So he gets in the fucking plane and he's like, I'm going to push it to the limit. And he does. And I think the plane ends up exploding or some shit. And so the general's all pissed. He's like, well, you did it. So I'm not going to shut down the program. But, it's fucking, stupid that you did that. Well, anyways, they put him in Top Gun and he has to train some new recruits for a mission that it's supposed to be impossible. And one of the recruits is Goose's son.
He got stuff like Rooster now, right? He goes,
yeah. Yep. And Rooster and Tom Cruise don't get along because when Rooster was going to the Naval Academy, his mom, who was Meg Ryan, Meg Ryan called Tom Cruise and said, don't let my son be a pilot. And so Tom Cruise called the Naval Academy and said, don't let him in. And he had to wait 4 years for whoever was running the Naval Academy to retire before he could get a chance to go in and be a pilot like his dad. So he's pretty pissed at Tom Cruise because it took him 4 years out of his career.
Oh shit! Yeah. I thought it was gonna be the whole "you kill my dad" thing, but
he doesn't know. He doesn't know that his mom told Tom Cruise that he said don't. He doesn't know that. So he's pissed at him about it, but he doesn't realize that why he did it.
So, okay.
Good movie.
I wanted to go watch Nope. I thought Nope was gonna be good. I thought.
I've heard good things, but a lot of people said they get confused about it. They don't understand the ending.
My mom watched it, and she said, "No, I got the ending. PD did it." I had to tell him because apparently, parts of the movie you gotta you can't just enjoy the movie. You have to pay attention. Something happens. Certain key things happen in the movie, and if you don't pay attention at the very end, you're like, "I don't get it." Because I had a friend. She says she watched it. Goes, "I don't get the ending. I don't get it." And my mom's like, "No, if you pay attention, so apparently, you got to look for the Easter egg in the movie to get the ending."
Yeah.
But not a lot of people want to work that hard, saying they just want to lay back and enjoy a movie. So.
Yeah, I know that's true. Those people, they're very picky about their movies. Yeah. So
right.
What?
I was going to talk to Dave. That reminds me, I was going to talk to Daniel. You want I was watching Stranger Things, and it's funny because I see everyone that wearing the war vest. Now we're talking about the war vest.
Yep.
Damn, we should all get war vest. They're cheap, they're easy. You can buy a denim jacket for $20. Then you just go find the stupid stickers, all the stupid little things you want to put on it. And battle vest and one and I know what I want to put like two of them. I was gonna put a bunch of goofy ones on there, but I know two of them I wanted one to say Big Beef and
Yeah.
I want another one that says 6 inches soft.
There you go. 6 inches soft. So you're gonna be big six, huh? That's your.
No, I'm like 6 inches soft. What does that mean? With 6 inches soft?
Yep. Yep. Well, there you go. That's
like JP. They had like the Big Beefing patch underneath it, big old back patch about I don't know what, maybe like an SCP patch. I've been looking already. And I'm like, man, like it's all for like less than if I wait for a sale or whatever, and I look for what I want. Because in reality, you can put like 1, 2, 7, and a back patch, 8, a big old back patch. Yeah, I think I could roughly pull it off like $50. I'm thinking I can do it for because I'll have Andrew since he knows how to use a sewing machine just to tag them on for me. So
I was gonna say, haven't you been to a patch convention before, like where people are just selling patches?
Yes, I have. Yeah. Man, lots of like I couldn't pick one. I'm like, there were that's the funny part. There were so fucking many, I couldn't pick one. That's how my mind was working. Like, just pick one. I can't. I want them all. I can't pick one. So since I couldn't pick one, I got none.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how hard it is.
I got actually I have a denim jacket downstairs. I guess I could do that with.
Yeah, get your and then like look for like get your big old look for back patches. You get like a Metallica one. Some you can have custom made. They cost a little more because they're custom made. And then like you can find little patches and Sarah can sew the patches on for you. But like man, I think I'll pull the trigger on it. You know, like I said, I saw a nice denim jacket on Amazon. It's like $25. All I gotta do is find the patches I want, give them to Andrew, sew them on, and just fucking, probably not the 6 inches soft one because I know I got to work. I'm gonna work word to word, So like, wearing my denim jacket, vest. I mean, my denim vest.
Yeah, when I first moved out on my own, I went and bought a jacket, and it was denim, and fuck, man, I didn't realize like I was like wearing it. People were like, "Hey, don't you need something that's not so fucking cold?" And I didn't realize that you can't just wear a denim jacket during the winter. You had to have something with a lining. Because I was thinking,
I remember that denim jacket. You wore that denim jacket. You like that denim jacket. You always wore that denim jacket.
I still have.
You still have. You wore that. I mean, you were. That was your life saying that.
Yeah.
That denim jacket.
Yeah, I never really thought that, oh no, this would be good. People are like, "Hey, aren't you fucking cold in that thing?" I was like, "Yeah, it's a little cold." Like, because it never, there's only 2 or 3 days out the year it gets really fucking cold, right? Like 2 or 3. So most of the times I'd be all right.
I never thought of it. There's no liner in there. You just wore.
No, it's cold as fuck. You're just wearing another shirt. That's all that is. It's a jean shirt. That's all that fucking thing is.
I never knew that, but you always had that one denim jacket. Same thing. You keep running because you had it forever, but yeah, I remember that.
When I was living in the can, I was like, I need some clothes for Navarro. Like, I need some clothes that, I'm a grown up now. I'm on my own. I need some fucking clothes. So I walked right into that VF factory where ODB's or where Thomas's mom worked. Walked in there and bought a pair of jeans, which I still got downstairs, a shirt, which I still got downstairs, and that fucking jacket, which I still got downstairs. I went and bought all of them. And that jacket, it doesn't look as good now because I washed it one time and you're not supposed to wash them that way. And
not to wash denim at all. Apparently, what I learned.
Yeah, it made them all gray now, and so it's not as cool as it used to be. But when I was dating Emily, the girl that I mentioned in my little short story a couple weeks back, I was over at her parents' house and they were like, "Hey, what? Aren't you cold?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's actually a little cold." And they said, "Well, you're just wearing a denim jacket. Like, there's no lining in that." And I'm like, "No, I guess there's not." And they're like, "Why don't you have one with a lining?" And I was like, I never really thought about getting one. And they're like, You mean you're going to make it through the winter without a jacket? So for Christmas, they bought me a fucking jacket with a lining. They felt so bad. And I had that fucking jacket. This is how I was with her. That was probably 2005. I started with the probation department in 2009. That winter, there's a picture of somebody, me, and I'm wearing that fucking jacket that they bought me, and I'm out in the snow with it.
What was the shirt you still got? What's the shirt?
It's just a black fucking shirt, man. There's pictures of me, like the first picture I have on Facebook. It's that shirt. I still have it.
It's a shirt. The first picture is this shirt was?
Yeah, I wear it on Friday. I wore it this last Friday. I still wear that bitch.
You still wear it?
Yeah.
How old is that shirt?
What?
How old is it?
Oh, that had been 2004, so it's almost 20 years old.
It still looks nice.
Looks great. That shirt looks good.
I got the look.
I wear it almost every Friday. I just wore it last Friday to work.
And it's still holding up.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine. It's a Nautica shirt. It's a black shirt. It's got a collar on it.
It's not gonna hold up. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like I'm out doing strenuous activity in it. It just,
But the blue jeans? They don't fit no more. They're like size 40, aren't they?
Well, yeah, so they're too big. And those jeans, the button broke on them. It's one of those buttons that you loop around it, the loop button, the fucking button fell off.
So that's just some throw on work jeans, I guess, then for you now?
Well, now I can't even work in them because they'll fall off. I'd have to have a belt on there and tighten them and put a fucking something on there. I just hadn't thrown them out yet.
You're not a belt guy, are you? You're not a belt guy.
I got one belt and I'm wearing it right now. That's my one belt.
I'm a belt guy. I gotta wear belts, shorts, pants. I mean, I gotta have the belt. Maybe that was like.
Well, I've got to have a belt now because my pants won't stay up if I don't wear one. Like I've got to have one.
You ain't put on new pants. You have to fit your new physique.
I got them on right now, but I have no ass no more. My ass is gone, so there's nothing for the pants to rest on.
Where'd it go?
Fucking just went away. I don't have an ass anymore. I guess when you get old and you're white, your ass goes away. I guess that's how it happens.
You Hank Hill it. You Hank Hill.
Yeah. So my belt, I've got the belt. I got it all the way on the tightest loop to hold them fucking pants up. It's all the way up.
At the waist, right? Way up, too high, probably. Way up.
36, and it's on the last fucking loop. Like it's holding, and I'm probably gonna have to go a size down.
Shit, man. Shit. Yeah, that's coaches for the birds, man. It's getting ocean for real.
So I pretty much always have to wear a belt now. I don't have any. I don't have any that I can wear without.
Oh man, but good time had by all.
Yeah. Well, you want to go ahead and wrap this one up? We talked about movies, clothes.
Yeah, and Dale said, y'all stay on one topic. I tried my best. I said, no, YouTube. Yeah. Okay, we're going to go a little bit off. Yeah, YouTube. Yeah, a little bit more movies. Okay. Movies go to YouTube. A little bit.
When you think about it, we had how many times? We talked about movies. We talked about theft. We talked about but the theft stuff circled back around the movies. We talked about pants. I don't think it was that bad. I'm probably wrong, though. It probably was that bad. Whatever.
Well, it's not like we can do we don't do segment breaks. Like, all right, segment over. Let's move on to news. Let's move on to the weather. Let's move on to what's the news today.
You're pretty pleased with Alex Jones having to pay that $40 million, huh?
Well, he got lucky. He had paid what did they want? 150 mil? They wanted.
Damn. But I mean, the guy's an asshole. I mean, you could tell, and the fact that his fucking attorneys sent the plaintiffs his text messages, that shows you that they don't give a fuck either.
But he was supposed to put a form in that says you cannot use this. Pretty much saying you can't use this against me, right? He put a form in there, right? Or something.
Oh, he fucked up.
I mean.
My thing with him, it had been one thing. Okay, if he had said, hey, we really need to take a look at this shooting and we need to ask the question whether or not it really happened. But when he starts saying shit like, they're fucking lying and, they're actors and all this shit, it's like, bro, that's where he went too far because now you're saying something that's not true.
Well, like I said,
fucked up.
People were saying he could have been the next Rush Limbaugh. He could.
Yeah, I believe that.
Could have been. He could have.
I believe that.
The fucking fans up, but he fucked up. He could have been. I really think too. He could have been next Rush Limbaugh. He could have.
Yeah. I listened to Rush a little bit because I wanted to see who he was and what the big deal was. I was like, why are people always talking about Rush Limbaugh? Alex Jones is way, way crazier than Rush Limbaugh was. Like Rush was kind of, out of all the right-wing conservative radio show hosts, Rush was the most realistic, normal guy compared to all of them. I heard some fucking crazy people on the 8:20 a.m. or whatever. Like there's some fucking crazy fucking bastards on there. But Rush, he was like, he was really into Apple products. He liked technology and cell phones. I mean, he's a fucking asshole, like most people are.
But he controlled
yeah,
he controlled what was going on. Alex Jones,
no, off the rails.
He controlled nothing. This train was Rush Limbaugh controlled everything going on, and the way he spoke, like I don't know how to explain it, Shane. The way he spoke was amazing. I ain't gonna lie. But the way Alex Jones was, he'll just say some wild ass shit. Well, they're possession people and they're robots and they're democracy. I'm like, what the fuck is that from, bro?
Well, when I first heard about Alex Jones when he got banned from Twitter, when he got the lifetime ban, I was like, well, if he's saying shit this great, it must be good. So let me go to his channel and pull it up. And I shit you not, I get on the website and the first video I see, he's got a guest on there. It's a guy who's making a far right-wing comic book. And he's like, this is what comic books should be. This should be stuff that we're telling kids. This teaches them American values. Like, I was like, holy shit, they're fucking talking comic books. Like, I've just tuned in this one time and they're talking comic books. Like, fuck, what are the odds? And, but I never watched it again. I mean, you can't listen to that shit. It's just he's so loud, and the conspiracies on top of conspiracies, it's just too much.
But the command, Shane, he had, how many fans he had was like that's why I say, like, you can make anyone believe anything. Like, he just knew how to talk. Look, he's saying wild shit, and he has a fucking he had a massive fan base, And dude, you fucked up rolling. You could have been the fucking next Rush Limbaugh if you just would have kept your nose fucking clean and used some common sense. You could have been big, and then no one could touch you like Rush Limbaugh. But you chose to go off with the fucking lizard man and robot and brainwashing shit. And
well, I'm pretty sure he's a drunk too, and he's on cocaine. So I mean, those two things combined probably fucked him up. And plus all these conspiracies eventually they make your mind turn into mush. So
But the fact that fans like go, if you see them, tell them, ask them, and like. You commanded your fans to do it, and they fucking did
it. Yeah, he's a dumbass. I mean, he'll get what he deserves. He went too far, and
$40 million in the hole now. Lost wife, lost kids, lost show. What is he even performing on now? He's still doing it. What's he performing on?
He had to have his own network. He had his own channel on just his own website. It's just called Infowars.com. Like, because he got banned from YouTube, he got banned from Twitter, every social media platform banned him. So
we gotta see how much this guy's making. Like, what's his revenue that he's still raking in?
Well, they said that he made, goddamn, he did something recently, and it brought in like $80 million or something like that. So,
see, like,
and like I said, with all the fans he's got, people will come to his aid. It's a matter of time.
How pissed off would that make them? Like, well, he just asked his fans for help. He paid his fee. But the fact, Shane, that, like, real quick, like, I knew his lawyer was trash when I saw his lawyer flipping off the other lawyer.
Yeah.
Off the other lawyer. I don't think that's professionalism right there.
Well, I think Alex, he just lives in his own world, man. We're all just here with him. His world, we just happen to be here.
That one line he gave the judge, he goes, I believe it. It doesn't matter, Mr. Jones, what you believe. What you believe doesn't make it true.
Yeah, she told him a bunch of times. She's like, Mr. Jones, that's not the truth. You said you're bankrupt. That's not true. You filed for bankruptcy. And like, he was just like, well, well. I don't know, man. I thought he was kind of funny at first, but that kind of shit, it can get dangerous.
Hey, what's going on, Daniel?
I had to wake up from nap. I have working at 4 a.m., so I had to sleep early. So I was like, oh, shit.
Well, we're about to wrap it up anyways, boy.
That's all good.
Did Sarah go out the tax-free weekend, Shane?
Yeah. She went to all the thrift stores out there in fucking Arlington. Was gone all day.
Is Roger starting school this year, right?
Yeah, starts on Thursday.
What is it? Pre-K, K1?
Yep,
What is it?
Pre-K.
Did they do pre-K1 or pre-K whatever that there is? It's just pre-K.
It's just pre-K as far as I know. He's gonna be there all day.
All day one.
And I pray to God they do something about telling him how to wipe, because I've been telling Sarah the last couple of days he's went to go take a shit. I'm like, hey, you got to tell him to wipe afterwards because he's gonna be on his own starting Thursday. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go wipe his ass for him.
The problem we had was our toilet was backing up, and we don't know what it was, and I couldn't fix it. Like, fuck it, called people, come out. They went down there, put the pipe in, the camera, or whatever. They're like, there seems to be a lot of white. They pulled it out. There was a bunch of baby wipes. So, like, Jonathan was wiping his butt and throwing all the baby wipes in the toilet.
Yep.
So I was like, fuck. We're like, well, he's wiped. I can't get mad. He's got, so hey, son, don't throw these in there. Don't throw these in there. And he's like, all right, Dad. Like, but like $150 in the hole, because you're like, man, like, at least you're wiping. But god dang, man, like,
Fucking Roger took a bar of soap and crammed that bitch down the sink drain. I had to get a pair of needle nose pliers and fucking. I was getting the soap, but the soap was starting to smush, so the pliers were just cutting into the soap. So like, fuck, so I had to take the whole damn sink apart just to get that fucking soap out of there.
The kids do the wildest things, man. You go to your room. Did you go to their room to pick up something? There's a plate half full of fucking ants. Like, god damn it, like.
I have that problem more with the older ones here. Like, home dude down the hall over here, his fucking room's a mess.
Which one, Nico? Or
no, the other one. It's bad.
Yeah. Just call him out.
Yep. Maybe he heard it.
Shane just said like he'll sleep till like 3 p.m.
God damn.
Well, that changes this week. They got him on alarm, and they were both up this morning too. And then Nico, when I dropped him off at work earlier, he was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this and go to school. And I'm like, well, we'll see how the schedule works out. Let's just see how it goes. Let's not make any rash decisions right off the bat. Let's just wait and see.
Okay, granted, he's not supposed to be out till midnight. If he's in school, he's only supposed to work till like 10. You know.
Well, they're gonna have to do something because he ain't staying up there till 11:30 on a Monday. Because first of all, I can't do that shit. I got to go to work in the morning. He can't drive on his own yet.
Yeah.
So
they got to like 2 to 10. They got to do something different. Well, not even like a 4 to 10.
He's gonna have to be. Yeah, he's gonna have to be like a 4 to 10 for this to really work. And I don't know if they're gonna do it or not. So he may end up. He may not be there very much longer. We'll just have to see what they're willing to work with him on.
Cat, Shane. Look at that evil cat.
Little kitty.
Yeah. Gotta fuck her big, Daniel.
Yeah, she was little. She fit in my pocket.
But,
all right. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and wrap this one up.
Okay.
All right. Y'all have a good one.
You go.
Right, I'll try to get it on there tomorrow.
Come in.
I got another story coming up. Another story time.
Oh, do it, see, do it.
I love the stories. I do. You get that nice tone. I love the stories.
This was going to be about a grown man putting sugar in somebody's gas tank. Y'all going to have to tune in to listen to the rest of it.
All right.
What's that come out tomorrow?
I don't know when I'm going to put it in there. Okay. I'm going to put it in there, though.
All right.
Okay. Good. All right. Yeah, have a good night, guys.
All right. Good night, guys. All right. Bye.